I'm starting this vlog kind of at a weird time. It's Friday night and I am all alone. Chase has gone out to have like his boys' night. I was supposed to have a girls' night, but it kind of got canceled a couple days ago. I'm having drinks with Ina, Nick, and Chase tomorrow, and Ina didn't want to do kind of like 2 back-to-back going out nights, so girls' night got canceled and I couldn't find any other plans. So now I'm here by myself. But it gives me time to read, which I will tell you about the books I'm reading. This is the second vlog for the historical romance readathon. If you don't know that much about it, you should by now because it's been a couple weeks. It's super fun. I'm enjoying myself on the Discord. We've had a couple challenges. I think I was supposed to tell you about the challenges in my last vlog, but I don't remember how well I did with doing that. It does leave me a fair amount of time to kind of just relax. I'm actually quite tired. My sleep schedule is a little messed up because I just finished Jade Legacy and I was like up super late 2 nights ago reading a majority of that last quarter of it. My sleep schedule just hasn't recovered because then I kind of stayed up too late last night. Anyway, I'm exhausted, so I'm kind of grateful to have a quiet night by myself. I went and got some dinner at one of my favorite spots in Chinatown, this vegan spot. It's called Spring Cafe. If you're in New York and you just need like a cute little pop-in spot that's vegan, I would definitely recommend it. I go there when I'm not with Chase because he doesn't like it. And then I walk home, so I walked home and then saw that McNally Jackson now doesn't close till 9 p.m. I feel like they used to close at 7, but maybe that was like a COVID thing that's finally like gone away. And they have a little cafe in there, and there were so many women just having like the time of their lives in this cafe that's also like a wine bar. So they're all like drinking wine at the bookshop. I'm like, please sign me up. I need to do that. I'm gonna take my neighbor there probably one night because that sounds really fun. I usually don't buy physical books that often, but I decided to pick up 2. Who am I? Buying physical books? Call me Eliza. No, I'm just teasing. But yeah, I don't usually buy physical books because I don't have that much space. Like my shelves are brimming. I kind of need to get rid of the books on the bottom shelf because if we're being honest, a lot of those books are Chase's and they're just taking up space. If he doesn't want me to have another bookcase, he needs to find another spot for the books that I don't care about. But let me tell you about these. They are not historicals. They're not on brand for this vlog, but I did buy them, so I'm gonna tell you about them. So the first one that caught my attention was this one, which is The Neighbor Favor. I've seen this one around for a little while and I was like intrigued but not like super pressed, but I really want to improve my Black Love collection that I physically own. So I'm excited to give Christina Forrest a try and it just sounds super cute. This is like a hidden identity kind of trope where an aspiring children's writer who's currently like a nonfiction writer falls in love with her favorite fantasy author over email, and then he falls in love with her as well. Something happens where they don't talk anymore, and then she moves, I guess, and has this neighbor, and it turns out the neighbor is the author, but he's using a pen name so she doesn't know it's like the same person. He quickly discovers that it's her from the emails. And yeah, and he's like helping her find a date to a wedding. I'm sorry, I did not describe that super well, but it doesn't matter. That's what that's about. It sounds super cute, and I'm happy to have more Black Love on my shelves. I really need to improve that. And then I also picked up this one, Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. This cover is like pretty dope. I don't know, it's like, you know, interesting art style. Like the guy subjectively is a little funny looking, but I like his tattoos, I like his man bun, and she seems really cool. I just think the art style is like very different. I like the colors, I like purple, whatever, doesn't matter. I like the cover. This one is about a wedding planner and her ex. They have to like come together to like make this event. I think her ex is like a florist or something. A lot of the romance girlies have been giving it raving reviews, so I was very excited. I don't know, like it wasn't something I thought I needed to buy, but it's not on KU and it's got such good ratings right now. I was like, I'll take the chance and I'll get the physical copy. So I have those. All right, now let me tell you about the books that I'm actually reading. So in my last vlog, I mentioned that I had started the second book in the Traitor Witch series. It's called Liar Witch. This series was recommended to me by Hannah, and this technically is a historical romance. It's all old-timey and stuff. It's fantasy. There's like old-timey boats with sails, so I'm gonna count it for sure. This book is a reverse harem about a witch and her harem of paranormal love interests. There is a vampire. There are two shifters. There's a ice fae guy. There's a mage who's like linked to his ship. The ship is like a part of him. And there's also a siren man. So that's her harem. I'm enjoying it so far. There's this overarching story of her being an assassin. She's like the goddess's shadow. There's this thing with like lunar witches versus solar witches. And lunar witches are very sexual beings and stuff. So in the first book, she's kind of hiding her identity. She's pretending to be a solar witch because she's on the run, because she's been set up to look like she murdered these two high up priestesses. So now she's assigned by her goddess to kill this big bad queen who is a human queen, but for some reason she's immortal. I mean, a lot of the paranormal creatures in this book are immortal, like witches when they turn 25, I think they become immortal and then they stop aging and all this stuff, but they can still die. But anyway, a lot of the paranormal creatures are paranormal, but not the humans. But for some reason, this human queen is immortal, and you find out like what she's doing to make that happen. There are also these like scary creatures that kill people out in like the forest and stuff like that, and she's like learning more about that. There have been a lot of assassins that have tried to kill this queen and have failed. So that's like the overarching story, and part of it is that she needs her harem to support her in getting this done, like bring their skills to the table, I guess. So she's working on all the mate bonds with them, and it's getting spicier. The first book is very slow burn. Hardly anything happens in the first one, so I'm excited for things to pick up in the second one, which they've already done, but there are a lot of men to manage, so we'll see how deep into the feelings we get with these characters. But overall, I'm having a decent time. And then I picked up this book last night, which is For My Lady's Kiss, and this is a classic historical. It takes place in England, and it's like the 13th century. It's 1292, and this is about Our Lady McKenna. She lives in this kind of forgotten village by the king, and all of a sudden this lord comes to like claim the village. They're like, you haven't had a lord for a while. The king has sent me to own this land. Like, I'm gonna protect this village, But the village isn't that happy about it. And we're gonna see how the romance between these two characters prevail. McKenna is very unconventional. She's like looking for a husband. I think she comes from like a decent family in the village, so she's got a pretty good dowry. So a lot of the guys in the village want to marry her, and she's just like not interested in any of these guys. She doesn't have a good first impression of this guy when he strolls up either, but she is physically attracted to him, right? But she really needs to marry someone. Like, her brothers are putting a bit of pressure on her to marry, like not too much because they love her. But like the village isn't really like moving on because none of the other men that are bachelors in the village are interested in marrying anybody else besides McKenna. So McKenna just needs to like pick someone and take herself off the market so these other guys will finally get married and the village can kind of continue moving forward. So that's all I know so far. I've literally read like 16 pages, but I'm excited to dive back into a classic historical. This feels like so nostalgic to me. I used to read so many historical romances when I was in high school, and like maybe even like 2 years ago. I don't know why I kind of fell off the historical train, but I'm happy this readathon is changing that. So yeah, I'm gonna do definitely a ton of reading of this tonight, and probably some Traitor Witch. And I'm actually really happy to just be able to cozy up in bed with the light on to read a physical book, because usually I can only read my Kindle in bed because Chase is sleeping next to me and I can't have the light on, obviously, because he's sleeping. But he's not here. So it's like a little treat to be able to like cozy up in the covers, have the light on, and read my book. The last thing I want to tell you about are my plans for the next couple days for this vlog. Tomorrow I have plans to go to Hudson Yards with Ina, Nick, and Chase. We're gonna go get drinks at this place called Electric Lemon, which is some kind of rooftop cocktail bar. So looking forward to that. And then we have reservations for dinner at another place called Anixie, which is this absolutely fantastic Mediterranean vegan spot. I went to the office today, which is also in Hudson Yards. I like rarely go to the office, but my boss was going in and she asked me if I was gonna be in because another woman was supposed to be in. And I said, yeah, sure, I'd love to come in. So it was the first time I'd been in a while. I like barely know how the office works. But it's beautiful. I don't think I filmed any clips for the vlog about it, but I did post on my story about it. So if you want to just see like what I'm doing as like a semi-content creator in New York City, definitely find me on Instagram at being.daphne. So things that I'm not vlogging all the time will end up on stories. So if you just want to stay in touch with me a little bit more, you can find me over there. And feel free to DM me. I'm very good at answering them. And let's be friends. All right, that's it for now. I'm gonna do what I said, get cozy and all that stuff. And I will catch you later when I have something interesting going on. Guys, I was just like doing stuff around the house because I need to like actually do like late night laundry, but there's fireworks going on outside for like no reason. This is like so random. Why are there fireworks? Someone get proposed to? That's a very lucky girl. She probably got a very rich fiance now. I couldn't tell you what else they're for. I love fireworks though. So I'll take some surprise fireworks. They're just literally right outside my door. Wow, that was a big one. It's the finale. Oh my God. Back home from dinner with Chase, Nick, and Ina, and I had an amazing time. We're very full, and now it's like almost 11:30, and apparently we're going hiking tomorrow with Oriana, so I will bring you along for that as well. It's been a lot of montagey bits, I'm sure. Reading-wise, I read a little bit of the For My Lady's Kiss, and I'm liking it so far, but I haven't had a lot of chance to continue that or Trader Witch, so no updates there, but I'm having a good weekend so far. Good morning. I am making some sandwiches for our hiking trip. I'm actually kind of hungry now that I'm awake, but I'm gonna stay fasted for a bit like I normally do. I think it's just because I'm dealing with food earlier than I normally would in the day. It's 7:45 and we're trying to leave here at 8. I gotta finish making these sandwiches, and then me and Chase are gonna run out the door. Just putting some vegan lunch meat on here. Everything Chase and I eat is vegan, so just FYI if you're curious. Here are all the sandwiches ready to get packed up. I'm gonna leave it for Chase to pack up because married life, teamwork. I'm gonna get ready. He's already half ready, so he can pack the bag. because I made the sandwiches. Let's walk. Here for walking. It's hard?
No. I don't know what's going on with you.
Whoa.
What does it look like?
That's wild. That does look like lychee. Oh, and there's a pit also? Wow. Okay, get a good throw in, babe, for the video. For the memories. Terrible. I've zoomed you in so you can't see the nonsense that is my apartment right now. I have clean, drying laundry all over the place. It's a disaster, but I've tightened in the frame so you can't see it. Actually, you know what? Expose myself really quick. It's this. It's drying. Everything, you know. Okay, now that I've exposed myself after cleverly hiding it, let's chat. I have an update. I have a reading update for once from this vlog so far. I've done a ton of reading on this book for My Lady's Kiss. Obviously you saw in the montage clips that I went hiking yesterday, but it was a long drive, so I got a fair amount of reading done in the car. Luckily I didn't make myself car sick or anything. And then I was just loving this book so much. I was obsessed. I couldn't stop reading. I was like, I really should edit week one's vlog, but I didn't. I sat on the couch and read a ton of more pages. Honestly, I got to a point kind of last night where like, I got past my obsession with it and I was like, oh, like things are really kind of slow burn with it. So we have our heroine, McKenna, and our hero, Thomas. Thomas is like this new lord. She did like this marriage game thing at the beginning, but it doesn't really affect the story at all. He doesn't know that like she accidentally picked him to be her husband or whatever. She's not like interested in doing that. She kind of hates him because she's scared he's gonna make life for the village horrible like the previous lord. The previous lord had like issues with the king. He had been accused of being a traitor and stuff, so he hasn't been around for the last 4 years. The village hasn't had a lord for 4 years. So McKenna has been the reeve, which is basically like the mayor of the village. She knows a lot of how things work. She's like just organizing everything in the village. She tells them, you know, we need the grain, we need to work the fields, we need to do whatever with the sheep. Like she's running the show. She's got like brothers and stuff, but they're just not as competent as she is. Like she's really smart. She speaks English, French, and Latin. This is in England. The new lord, Thomas, knows that she has a lot of influence apparently, and like she's beautiful and all this stuff, so he takes her as hostage to kind of get her to stop trying to sabotage what he's trying to do as the new lord, because she doesn't want him. She thinks he's gonna be as evil as the old guy. So she's like trying to hide the valuables in the village, hide the sheep, like telling all the villagers like don't let him take anything, like all this stuff. So he takes her hostage. She's staying with him in this like rundown castle that he needs to rebuild. And they're like slowly getting over this hatred thing. Like he doesn't hate her, but he doesn't trust her because obviously she's working against him. She like hates him because, she, you know, whatever her fears and her trauma with the last guy. But he knows she has a lot of value with knowledge on the village, with, you know, languages and writing and all this stuff. So he's using her also for her skills, and he's slowly falling in love with her. Like, since he doesn't trust her, he's like, you need to be by my side at all times. So she's like been staying in his chambers with him against her will pretty much, but like he hasn't forced himself on her in any way. He's pretty honorable. But they're having this like slow burn romance going on, and I'm eating it up, but also at the same time I'm like, give me more now, you know. but I'm really, really having a good time. This could be 5 stars. This could be 5 stars. And it doesn't have a lot of reviews on Goodreads, which is shocking. And I'm very impressed by this author, Linda Needham. I'm like, I need some more books from her because I'm loving this time. I will say it's in third person, and you kind of jump between the perspectives like sentence to sentence, paragraph to paragraph. So if that's something you don't like, just beware that it's written that way. It's not in first person. It's not like even like one chapter will be from one perspective and another chapter will be from the other. It's like paragraph by paragraph. So it can be a little confusing, especially when both characters don't know all the information about each other. But I don't mind. I get used to that kind of quick. I can adjust. It's no big deal for me. So yeah, I am absolutely loving it. I'm really dying for this slow burn to like combust, you know? So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. I haven't read too much more of Trader Witch. I'm still at the part where our heroine is supposed to save her siren male mate. In the siren community, the gender roles are reversed, so the men are seen as like lesser than, and we know how it is in like traditional form where women are seen as lesser than and weaker and all this stuff. But in the siren world, the women are the warriors and the men are like, I don't know, just like the pretty decorations that are around. So she has to come save her siren mate. He's different from all the other males because he's a prince, and also he's trying to be more like a warrior, like he fights battles and stuff, but his queen, his mother, like hates that. She hates that he's like her, and she hates that he breaks the gender norm for this community and stuff like that. So our girl has to like fight some kind of battle against his fiance. So we'll see how that goes. Apparently also the sirens can transform, so like they're walking around on legs and stuff, and I assume they definitely have tails too when they're underwater, so they're shifter type beings. Interested to see how that goes, but I've been obsessed with this classic historical romance instead, so I haven't read too much of Trader Witch, but I'll probably prioritize it once I complete this bad boy, hopefully today if I have time. I have some updates in regards to the historical romance readathon, like challenges and polls and all that stuff. I kind of didn't keep updating you last week as things progressed further on. So today is the 14th, and let me give you some context of what has been happening on Discord, because it's been really, really fun. Props again to Maggie for organizing this whole thing. I know she's been working super, super hard. Definitely check out her channel. It's linked in my description. Give her lots of love if you've been enjoying this readathon. But let me catch you up on how Team Blue Stockings, my team, has been doing. So last week we did poll number 1, and you had to just pick a random emoji, and then we got the storyline out of it, which I had told you about, which was a sweet romance. With that sweet romance comes a story, like this white paper, kind of like Lady Whistledown in Bridgerton. So I'll just give you the gist of what the story was. So the story is that Miss Amaya Reed was at the London exhibit, and there were a bunch of inventions, I guess, on display. One of the inventors was presenting his latest creation, and Amaya had the confidence to make some suggestions to him on how to improve this like farming aid. The inventor did not take it very well. His pride was bruised, and he was very rude to her. Luckily, Lord Gabriel Santos, the Marquis of Dalton, came to her rescue. He recognized her, apparently, or he just recognized the brilliance in her eyes, and he shielded her from the inventor's like harsh remarks. They end up walking the exhibit together. They're having like a nice fun time at chatting. And as the day came to a close, he gives her a gentle kiss on the pulse of her wrist. And that's the story. So it was very, very cute. So that's the update from the 4th. So that was like 10 days ago. I'm so sorry. Then we had the masquerade night. So for this challenge, everyone had to submit like what mask they would want to wear to the masquerade on like Instagram or in the Discord. So I posted this lovely woman in a lacy mask with this beautiful dress as my outfit to get the points for it. And then in addition to that, we had another random emoji poll, but this time it didn't really work out for us. Our carriage was hijacked. So these two things combined kind of will affect the next story. So let me tell you about the next story. So Amaya's carriage broke down, so she was a little upset when she got to the masquerade ball like a bit late. Somehow she ends up being nearby society's beasts, the Duke of Beaumont, Akil Samir, and they kind of have this moment together. They're very attracted to each other, it sounds like. They're having deepening conversations where the truth begins to unfurl like petals of a reluctant flower. The Duke asks if she's hiding from someone, and she confesses that she's a bit rattled because of the carriage incident, and he gives off this protective vibe for her. They talk more, he talks about his military exploits, and she's loving their conversation, and his protectiveness continues, and he offers to escort her home, and he sits up on top of the carriage with the carriage driver to make sure she doesn't have any more carriage incidents. So nothing super intimate happened, no kisses were exchanged, but it was a very good moment with the Duke. So that was fun. So like a negative kind of turned into a positive. We have a bit of a protector now. So our next challenge / event is the London Opera House performing Madame Butterfly featuring diva Yoko Tamura. So for this, we had to post our favorite historical romance book cover. So I've already done that. I've picked a couple books, and I'll show them to you. I picked 3 of Beverly Jenkins' books. I wanted to show off some beautiful historical Black love books. So that's what I posted on Instagram. I collected my points for that, which is 50 points, and I've decided to keep them for my team. And then we had to do another random emoji poll. I picked the smirking emoji face, but the fire emoji is winning right now. So I have no idea, they're just random. You have no idea like what the consequences are gonna be. So hopefully we get positive points this time around, and I will update you when I find out. So those are the main things I need to update you on the historical romance adventures. I have reading sprints tonight that I'm hosting, and I believe Hannah Blackwell will be joining me, so I'm excited to chat with her. It's been a while. I will talk to you later. Good morning. I just finished a meeting, but I wanted to catch up with you. I don't think anything has changed on the Discord. Team chat is always popping off. Oh my God, that is a crazy cover. Oh my God. Mare just put the most scandalous cover for her challenge. Wow, that was insane. I'll pop up the image for you now. Look at this naked man with this woman's breasts in his abdomen, like. And this is a Joanna Lindsay. Like, she's a pretty well-known name for me. I don't know if I've read any of her books, but I recognize that name. Tender is the Storm. I feel like I've probably heard of this book. I have never seen this cover, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, the poll results are in. The fire emoji won. And it was negative. It says, this week you risk your reputation, minus 75 points. But maybe something fun will happen in the storyline for it, but that is a bit tragic for our team. Our team was winning the other day. Maggie put up the current rankings for week 2, but she posted this 3 days ago. Today is the 16th. So yeah, Blue Stockings was doing pretty well, even though I hadn't input like hardly any of my books. I only input 1, so I'm probably gonna update my points today and add at least 2 more books that I've read. I have done some more reading of this. I'm determined to finish it today. I'm like 37% of the way through Liar Witch. I also want to finish that for this vlog. And I started another book. It's called Demonic Prince. I'm quite excited about this. It's a dragon shifter woman and this half-demon succubus guy, I think. I don't know that much about him in the story yet, but it sounds like he's a succubus from the synopsis. So looking forward to getting more into that. I am pretty much done working for the day. I really want to exercise. I want to go for a run. I had a really exciting day in this bullet journal because I had to pay my student loan. I've had 4 loans out for it. I had 3 private loans and I had 1 federal loan. The federal loan I finished years ago, 3-4 years ago, and it was a good chunk of change. And then I've had these 3 private loans that are huge. And I've been putting all my extra money, including some of the money that my parents helped me with, towards the first one. And I finished paying it today. One of the three. I I was putting extra towards one of the three. They were all like the same size pretty much. The older one was accruing more, had a higher interest rate, so I was focusing on that one. And it's done today. So I'm so happy. Now I still have a lot of loan left. The 2 remaining loans are still significant, but hopefully they'll be paid off in the next like 2 years or so. And I just feel so good. I've got like stars and like things on my tracker in here. That's why I mentioned this book. So yeah, it was a great day today. Got a lot of good work done, but now I'm done. I'm gonna be done with my YouTube stuff for now. I have a live show with Sash Reads. It's like her birthday live show. She invited a lot of booktubers to join her, so I wanna do that. But I gotta exercise first, and I'll probably like cook dinner in between sprints and stuff, or during sprints and stuff. So I gotta get going. It's a beautiful day outside, so perfect for a run. I'm gonna change into my workout clothes and go on that run. It is a couple days later. I've had this vlog going for a little bit longer than I wanted to because I wanted to finish Liar Witch for this vlog, but it's just not gonna happen, and I really wanna just start the next one. So I'm 50% of the way through Liar Witch. I'm still really enjoying it. It's kind of mostly focusing on the plot right now, so not too much romantic interest has progressed since probably 25%, but I'm still entertained. I'm still excited to get to know these characters in a deeper way. We have another male in the group. I mean, like, he was always a part of the group, but like now he's physically with the group, so good for him. I'm excited for him to have his like first real interactions with our heroine. He's the siren. He's like, their siren society is very different than like typical society, so all the males are kind of seen as lesser than and stuff. I think I mentioned this earlier. So yeah, just seeing like meeting him in that society and stuff like that, and how he's kind of like put down, and like he really wants to be a warrior and all this cool stuff. Like, I thought it was interesting, and he just seems like a really sweet kind of twist on the other guys that are very like alpha, like Oh, also, I'm exhausted because last night I stayed up till 4 a.m. Today's Friday to finish my hair. So this is why I don't look like a crazy person anymore. Like, look how nice it looks. What do you think? Nice and fresh, right? And I get serious shrinkage, so like my hair doesn't look that long, but like really it's like, I'll just pull a bigger chunk. It's like all the way down here, but it like bounces up to here. Anyway, so that's the update on Liar Witch. I'm gonna continue it into the next vlog, so definitely come join for week 3. These weeks are kind of long. They end up being like 9 days. I don't know exactly, but they're longer than I had originally planned. Like, the whole thing is off, but we're making the best of it. I did, though, finish For My Lady's Kiss. Like I said, it was giving me 5-star energy. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, but ended up giving it like a true 4.5. Like I'll log that in my reading tracker because I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. Like the slow burn aspect was just like so addicting. I loved their chemistry. I loved their banter. The writing was like actually super funny, but not in a corny rom-com-y way. It was just like circumstances, and I just loved it. But after you kind of get to the crescendo, once you get like to the peak of the love story, I'm kind of like, okay, where are we going from here? And there's like, you know, there are villains and like conflicts that are getting wrapped up, but just wasn't as invested in those things, and it didn't directly affect the relationship right away, so I was a little confused. And our main heroine, she was just trying to make things complicated for no reason with the relationship. She's young and like headstrong, so like that was interesting in the beginning, or like for 85% of it when they're like conflicting against each other because she's trying to protect her village and she thinks he's gonna like hurt her and stuff, or hurt her village, not have their best interest at heart. But like when she gets to know him, like that was kind of annoying, especially after they were like more together and she still doesn't trust him and she just like makes all the worst assumptions about him. I'm like, okay, you already know you're in love with him. Why are you continuing to make like the worst assumptions about him instead of speaking with him about what he's thinking or what his plans are or like what his approach is to certain situations? Like she would just assume the worst and then like freak the fuck out and then like be like, I'm out of here, and like run away and like cause chaos. And I'm like, bitch, sit the fuck down. So for that nonsense, after they were together, I knocked it down 0.5 star, but I still really enjoyed it and I would definitely recommend it. It doesn't have that many reviews on Goodreads, so for a historical, I mean, it was written in the 90s, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was written in 97, and I just think it needs more love. And I'm so grateful that I got this recommendation from Ava, from Ava's Romance Reads, I believe her channel is called. I'm gonna link her channel down below if you don't already know about her, but why wouldn't you know about her? She's amazing. She has like the most amazing romance recommendations, so definitely check her out if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm so grateful that I read this book and I loved it. I've read 4 books so far this month, so I definitely need to import those for our points. That's it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. If you did, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will catch you in another video. Bye!